Well, some Star Wars news right here. We're going to be talking about a brand new trilogy that apparently is offered and is going to be happening from the Game of Thrones guys. So let's talk about it. Look, with Game of Thrones ending and a prequel happening, the prequel isn't going to have much to do with the creative side and the people behind the original Game of Thrones. They're still going to be there, but they're not going to be there in the day-to-day activity. They're looking to move on to bigger paydays and bigger projects. What's bigger than Star Wars? So the dudes behind Game of Thrones have, previously we knew that they were offered a Star Wars movie. None of us had ideas of what it was. Recent brand new rumors popped up. Look, they're offered a trilogy, and it looks like they're taking it. And this is the trilogy we would start to see after the Skywalker saga. I'm going to assume it's going to be about 2 years after, so you're probably looking at 2021 at the latest, that December for the first installment of this. This is on top of the Rian Johnson thing he's working on still, and on top of other projects Disney is doing. And you have to understand that somewhere in here, they got these guys because they have a good idea and they haven't abandoned this project. Instead, they want to expand it to them because of their success with Game of Thrones, the success they found with various other projects. And honestly, this kind of gets me excited on a fresh new take from guys that are hungry in Hollywood, if that makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong, they found huge success with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is not a tentpole Hollywood release that's going to get your name everywhere and get every studio to look at you in that capacity. And Disney has always been this weird, we'll get a top director to do this, we'll get your Tim Burton and Bruckheimer, but at the same time they're like, get yourself the Russos, and while everybody laughs, we're going to run to the bank with it. So now they're looking to kind of pull these guys into their wheelhouse and keep them there for like a decade doing Star Wars because they see that these guys are tremendously talented and they haven't exploded in Hollywood yet to be demanding millions upon millions for each paycheck. You know, they'll be easier to control because that's realistically what you want with Star Wars and Disney, because you don't want guys out there doing their own crazy thing when you need to kind of have an idea what to do. That could be argued that's what happened with some Star Wars installments, but that's not the story we're talking about here. So you guys, how do you feel about a brand new Star Wars trilogy right around the corner? And of course, not the one involving Rian Johnson, because God knows how everybody feels about him.